So it looks like this is really it for Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez. Page 6 has reported that the two of them are going to be divorcing. Sources close to the star said that they have been separated since January, but they've been able to stay friends so there's no bad blood between them. Quote, they came to the decision together. They were having problems before January, but they wanted to remain best friends. Apparently, Dalton visited Ariana on the set of the movie Wicked in London, which was part of a last-ditch attempt to save their marriage, but sadly that didn't work out. It's been said that they've been really good friends throughout the entire process and that their friends and families have been trying to protect them, most likely from going through all the messy divorce drama. The speculation started over the weekend when Ariana was spotted at a tennis match without her diamond ring. She was photographed in the crowd at the Wimbledon men's singles final on Sunday, sitting between Andrew Garfield and Jonathan Bailey. She looked great with her honey blonde hair from the upcoming movie Wicked, and she was seen getting really into the match, reacting to moments by covering her mouth with her right hand. But of course, most people were focused on her left hand at the absence of her wedding ring. Some people speculated that there could have been a simple explanation. Maybe it was getting serviced or cleaned, or maybe even upgraded. Either way, it seems like everyone was wondering what was really going on and whether or not that was a sign of some kind of trouble in their relationship. On Twitter, someone wrote, "I'm sorry, I'm not really trying to start anything. I just want to know, anyone else noticed the ring finger has no ring?" Another person wrote, "Anyone else noticed Ariana Grande hasn't been wearing her wedding ring?" This latest speculation comes several months after there were rumors going around that the two of them were nearing a breakup. What happened was Dalton deactivated his Instagram account after comments were made questioning his sexuality. For whatever reason, some fans decided to target him and claim that he was in fact gay. We don't know what these comments look like, but obviously they weren't made in a nice way. Most likely it was both homophobic and intended to bully him. So it's possible that he was just sick and tired of getting these kind of comments and wanted to get off social media for a while. This is all pretty upsetting though, given the fact that the couple have really tried to keep a low profile since they got married. Dalton does have his own Instagram account, but he set it to private shortly after news of their relationship became public. But what's really interesting is that this wasn't even the first round of divorce rumors. 1 year prior, Ariana posted a video doing her makeup while promoting her brand REM Beauty, but it wasn't the makeup that caught everyone's attention, it was the fact that she wasn't wearing her wedding ring. If she didn't address it, fans would most likely jump to all kinds of conclusions and assume that something was going on. Thankfully she did, because she already knew exactly what the internet would say when they didn't spot her wedding ring. She said, "I'm just not wearing my ring. It's getting cleaned. I'm not getting a divorce, so before you start, don't." Basically, she shut that idea down completely. Obviously, she's been in the spotlight long enough to know that even the smallest thing can cause a panic online, so it makes sense that the two of them are very adamant about privacy and keeping their life off of social media. Nearly 2 years after breaking off her engagement with Pete Davidson, Ariana was spotted kissing a mystery man out in LA, who was later confirmed to be Dalton. The couple began dating in January of 2020 and spent a lot of time together at Ariana's home in New York City. In December, after almost a year of dating, Ariana announced their engagement on Instagram. She posted photos of them along with shots of her engagement ring, and in the caption she wrote, "Forever and then some." Several months later, in May of 2021, the couple tied the knot in a small ceremony at their home. Apparently there were less than 20 guests and the nuptials were informal. There was no real ceremony, it was just a casual exchange of vows. Ariana later shared photos from their wedding on Instagram. At the time, an inside source spoke to People magazine and said, "They're a great fit together. Dalton's entirely unfazed by the scope of her celebrity, and it's very grounding for her. He's young but mature and knows what he wants out of life." So they really seem to be great together, which makes it all the more upsetting that they're now separating.
Next up, we're discussing Keke Palmer dumping her boyfriend. Keke is iconic, a legend, and she is the moment, but it seems like her boyfriend, well now, ex-boyfriend, didn't realize that. Darius Jackson and Keke started dating in 2021 and welcomed their first child in February 2023. Now, who is Darius? Well, apparently he works as a fitness instructor at Inspire Fitness Studio. Now, during their 2 years together, the pair kept their relationship fairly private, only stepping out for a handful of events together. However, the actress announced her pregnancy in a public way, showing off her bump while hosting Saturday Night Live in December 2022. Then, during an appearance on The Tonight Show, Keke revealed that the couple were having a baby boy. Now, why did they break up? Well, Keke went to an Usher show and posted a photo of her looking beautiful in a black bodysuit under a sheer dress. Darius then quoted a tweet showing a video of her in the outfit dancing with Usher alongside the text, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." In a second tweet elaborating on his stance, he wrote, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mothers to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." Now, after receiving backlash from these comments, he then deleted his Twitter. A source said Keke and Darius called it quits shortly after he called her out on Twitter, and and Keke is focusing on her work and her 6-month-old son. The actor and Darius have been co-parenting, but for now, they aren't together. Now, Keke seemingly responded to the relationship drama during her appearance in Usher's music video for his single Boyfriend, which dropped on August 16th. At the end of the video, Keke wakes up in a hotel bed and answers the phone saying, "Yes, hello, what time is it? Damn it, I missed the show, I'm so tired," before looking into the camera to say, "I'm a mother, after all," with a wink, which is such a slay. I think it was for the best that she broke up with him, as mom shaming is gross, especially when it's happening to Keke, because that just doesn't make any sense. I hope Darius learns how to keep his mouth shut in his next relationship, because just wow. Keke has been asked for a comment on the whole situation, but her rep declined to comment, and according to a source, Darius is focused on an acting career and wants to put the drama behind him. In terms of co-parenting, the pair are making it work, as a source. You don't have to be in the same household to be good parents. No matter what happens though, I wish them all the best while co-parenting, because this isn't a normal breakup, there's a child involved.
I know there are a lot of Britney Spears fans out there who are not surprised at all to hear that the singer and her husband, Sam Asghari, have separated. According to TMZ, the split comes after a major argument that involves allegations of cheating. Sources revealed that about a week ago, Asghari confronted Spears over rumors that she stepped out on him. Now, when it comes to a source with direct knowledge telling TMZ, we must keep in mind that these rumors might have no basis in fact at all. That being said, a lot of fans were predicting, dare I say hoping, that their marriage wouldn't last. Apparently, Sam believed that Spears had been unfaithful, which led to a huge fight. The source also claimed that Sam had moved out of their shared home and is now living in a place of his own, and as they put it, it's only a matter of time before Sam files for divorce. Since Britney was freed from her conservatorship, fans have only become more and more concerned for her well-being, and one of the biggest factors raising eyebrows was her new husband, Sam Asghari. He's a personal trainer as well as trying to become an actor, which is not helping with the fan-appointed gold digger label. Apparently, there has been deep trouble within their marriage for months, as slowly Asghari started sleeping at the house less and less. It's also been rumored that Spears had gotten physical with him in their fights that apparently include frequent screaming matches. Reportedly, Spears has a prenup that protects her assets, but one insider said the likely end to their marriage will be a check from Britney to Sam that will at least settle things financially. If you have been following along with Britney's journey following her conservatorship, as I said earlier, people have been seeing this coming. At times in the last few years, Spears' behavior has been a bit unpredictable, and apparently Sam is over it. With that being said, Spears isn't just going to come out of a 13-year-long conservatorship and be okay. I would imagine the singer needs time to do some therapy and get used to having her freedom back. Over a decade of being treated terribly by her family, without proper mental health help or control over anything, including her own money, is going to take some time to recover from. Asghari has publicly defended Britney from the press, but privately, apparently he's frustrated. Clearly, he wasn't ready to help her do what she needed to do when it came to her getting better. Sam and Britney started dating back in 2016 when he got a gig in her music video for her song Slumber Party, in which he played her love interest. He also is a personal trainer and aspiring actor who a lot of people felt like was just dating the pop star to boost his career. Asghari even admitted in an interview that within the acting world he didn't even begin to be noticed until Britney gave him, quote, this amazing platform. Also said in an interview, Asghari talked about the door she had opened for him more affectionately than Spears herself. Following the video, the couple was practically inseparable. Throughout the Free Britney movement, Asghari often showed his support for the singer's fans, and she shared plans of marrying him and having children together. He even posted a photo of himself in a Free Britney t-shirt, which he posted to Instagram. In 2021, she was overjoyed when Sam proposed, sharing photos and videos to her social media of her ring and the pair together. Eventually, the pair tied the knot in a small private ceremony at their Thousand Oaks home, but this in itself had fans suspicious and questioning their marriage since. The whole wedding was super odd and a little suspicious when it came to who was there and what footage from it was posted online. Regardless, the pair did seem happy, and to be fair, her fans can take things a little far when it comes to the singer. With everything that has been said, no divorce documents have been filed just yet, but if it does happen sooner than later, there will be no surprise. Neither Spears nor Asghari have commented on these particular rumors yet. Let me hear your thoughts on these relationship rumors in the comments below. Do you think they're headed for divorce, or is it all just talk?
Alright, so there's already trouble brewing in Ariana's new relationship. Since the news came out that Ariana Grande is dating her Wicked co-star Ethan Slater, a lot has been revealed about his relationship to his estranged wife Lily J, and it looks like things are just getting a little too messy and a little too public for Ariana. TMZ reported that she and Ethan have not seen each other in person for quite some time, because apparently she wants to give him space to try to work things out with his ex, at least in terms terms of co-parenting. He and Lily have a baby together, and it's been said that they have been communicating regularly with each other about their plans for separating. Ethan filed for divorce on Wednesday while Ariana separated from her husband Dalton Gomez and is said to be in the process of divorcing. A source told Entertainment Tonight Ariana and Dalton both realized that they were very different people and quietly separated earlier this year. Ariana and Ethan connected as friends first because they have a lot in common and many similar interests. They went on to say Ariana and Ethan recently started dating. They have a lot in common and have a lot of fun. They didn't start dating until both of them were broken up with their significant others. And yes, it looks like Ariana and Ethan are actually taking some time apart right now. He is currently in New York while she went to LA for the weekend, and both of them have been filming on and off in London. But as for Lily J, she was allegedly surprised by the end of her marriage and told another story to Page 6. She said, "Ariana is the story really, not a girl's girl. My family is just collateral damage. The story is her and Dalton." An inside source spoke more about her feelings and said she's telling Ethan and others that she only cares about protecting their child. She's rightfully upset because her marriage fell apart, but Ariana and Ethan didn't do anything wrong. Ethan is trying to take the high road and hopes he can resolve the situation for the sake of their child. While it sounds like there's a lot of hurt feelings all around, there's no denying that this situation seems a lot worse for Lily. It was said that she was blindsided by Ethan's relationship with Ariana. She was with him for 10 years and they were high school sweethearts, so she's understandably devastated. Just last November, Ethan posted an anniversary tribute to his wife on Instagram, where he wrote, "My best friend, 4 years married, 10 years together, and this is easily the best and most bizarre year yet." And the craziest part about that is that Ariana liked the post, so that somehow makes everything a lot worse. And that wasn't the only post that she interacted with from his Instagram. On May 14th, he posted a photo of his son and dedicated a post to Lily for Mother's Day, where he wrote, "Happy first Mother's Day to the most loving, caring, and wonderful mom/person in the world, from me and this little guy." And yes, Ariana liked that one too. Also keep in mind that this was only about 2 months ago, and to add to that, their baby isn't even a year old yet. So how did this whole thing happen? Well, an insider spoke to People magazine about what it was really like on the set of Wicked, and apparently what was happening between Ariana and Ethan was very obvious. Quote, "It was obvious on the set from early on. They were very sweet to each other and often seen laughing together. Everyone just thought they were both happily married though and didn't expect them to end up dating." A second source claimed that the two of them did not get together romantically until both of them were separated from their spouses, essentially saying that there was no crossover whatsoever. As for Ariana and Dalton, fans were shocked when the news broke that they were divorcing after only 2 years of marriage. Sources close to them said that they have been separated since January. It's also been said that they were living separate lives until around May, when they decided to take another shot at their relationship. But sadly, that only lasted 2 weeks before they both threw in the towel. It was a last-ditch attempt to save their marriage, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. Thankfully though, they have been able to stay friends, so there's no bad blood between them. A source spoke to TMZ and claimed that Ariana was happy in LA for a couple of years, and she really wanted to make a life there with Dalton. This worked out well for a while, considering that he is super focused on his career as a luxury real estate agent, and for that he needs to live in LA. But the demands of his career eventually became an issue for them because he was practically stuck in the city, while her work took her all over the world and for several months at a time. It's been said that another contributing factor in their separation was the differences between them. According to reports, they couldn't make their marriage work after the pandemic because their lives were vastly different, and that only became more obvious over time. Dalton was taken aback by Ariana's celebrity status, so he could not comprehend her busy schedule, the intrusive paparazzi, and the various opportunities that took her out of LA. It's also been said that he would sometimes question why they needed to go around town with security, which was clearly the only option for someone as famous as Ariana. In the end, it was their differences in lifestyle that started to make the marriage unravel, and now it looks like she's well and truly moved on. So there's been some big news going on over the weekend. It seems like everyone's favorite couple, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, are headed for a divorce. Sources with direct knowledge spoke to TMZ and said that Joe had his people contact at least 2 divorce lawyers in LA, and apparently he is on the cusp of filing divorce documents to end his marriage. It's been said that the couple have had some serious problems in their relationship for at least 6 months. According to TMZ, over the last 3 months, Joe has been caring for their 2 young children pretty much all of the time, even while his band was touring. On the surface, it seems like there's been no outward signs of trouble. They recently sold their Miami mansion and seem to be happier than ever. Joe and Sophie also attended a lot of events together, but in recent weeks he's been photographed without his wedding ring quite a lot. This news was clearly pretty shocking, since the couple is literally a fan favorite. They know how to deliver a masterclass in and couple-coordinated red carpet wear, and over the years they've become one of the most enviable yet still relatable Hollywood couples out there. At last year's Met Gala, they coordinated their outfits, both wearing black Louis Vuitton looks. Sophie chose a gothic bride-inspired ensemble, which consisted of a floor-length embellished black dress with black platform heels, while Joe wore a white tuxedo with a long lace coat tail and silver jewelry. The two of them first linked up in 2016 and they got engaged a year later. In 2019, they were married in a Vegas-style wedding and have been living the family life ever since. They welcomed their first kid in 2020 and then another one in 2022. So it's safe to say that a lot has happened for them in the past 4 years. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar UK in 2019, Sophie spoke about their meeting and she basically said that they got set up. She explained that they had a lot of mutual friends and that they've always been trying to introduce them for a long time. Apparently they were following each other on Instagram and Joe direct messaged her one day out of the blue. When describing him, she said, "He's lovely, he's just the funniest. You wouldn't expect he's about to turn 30 this year. He's the most fun, energetic, positive person I've ever seen. I'm pessimistic, so we balance each other out." Soon after that meeting, Joe invited her to meet up with his tour that was passing through the UK. She said that the two of them had an instant connection, even though she hadn't expected to like him. Quote, "He didn't bring security, he brought a friend and they drank just as hard as the rest of us. I remember us two spending only a couple of minutes on the dance floor and then we found a space in the far corner and we just talked." Sophie went on to say, "We talked for hours and hours and hours and I wasn't bored. It wasn't contrived, it wasn't small talk, it was just so easy. Soon we were inseparable and then I went on tour with him." Professionally, Joe and Sophie have both been very busy these days. Joe has gone on tour with his brothers recently and is scheduled to perform through the winter. Sophie's done some more acting stuff in recent years, but she isn't nearly as active during her Game of Thrones days. Despite the divorce rumors, or maybe because of them, Joe's wedding band was seen back on his finger over the weekend. He was pictured sporting his ring during a Jonas Brothers concert in Austin, Texas, and it definitely seemed like he was making a statement. In a series of photos posted by PopCrave on Twitter, his gold wedding band could be clearly seen on his left hand while he was performing on stage. Not only that, but Sophie was there too, and he also sang a love song that he wrote for her during the stop on their North American tour. His wedding band was also visible in a snap shared on the official Jonas Brothers Instagram account on Saturday. The caption read, "Happy Labor Day weekend, everyone. This tour has been incredible so far. Having a little family time in the Texas sunset tonight before a big Austin show tomorrow." Apart from that, the two of them have also been pretty active on social media. On August 15th, Sophie marked her husband's 34th birthday on Instagram. She posted a photo of them wearing matching green and white striped pajamas, and it's clear that she still wanted to make him feel appreciated. In this case though, no matter what happens, Sophie and Joe are still going to be amazing parents to their two daughters. So divorce is not going to be the end of that kind of relationship. We have news about Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott's chaotic relationship. Apparently they've called it quits once again. According to Us Weekly insiders, the couple spent the holiday season apart, and they are no longer a romantic item. Quote, "They were supposed to spend the holidays together, but she went to Aspen to be with her family and friends up there. This happened so many times before. They're known to be on and off again, but always remain friends and great co-parents." If you didn't know, Kylie and Travis are parents to 2 children, a son named Wolf who is nearly 1 year old, and a daughter named Stormy who is 4. They've been up and down for so many years, but it's seemingly been in a steady and committed relationship since the spring of 2021. Following their split in 2019, the couple sparked reconciliation rumors several times. Last year, a source told In Touch Weekly that they're navigating their relationship journey and want to make it work this time around, but they've also been through their highs and lows since then. Neither felt ready to settle down and were both busy working on their own project, but having a child who they both love and adore ended up bringing them closer together. While we don't know the reason for their breakup this time around, Travis was exposed for cheating on Kylie in the past, which is something he still adamantly denies. Back in October, the rapper was battling allegations that he cheated on Kylie with his ex-fling, model Regine Carr, who also goes by the name of Young Sweetro on Instagram, and his defense was embarrassingly bad. The internet started swirling with rumors when Regine shared video proof of herself on the same set as Travis on her Instagram story. This fueled speculation that the two were linking up yet again, because back in 2019, they were also accused of having an affair, which caused Kylie to break up with Travis, but both parties denied it at the time. The thing is, this latest accusation would have probably flown under the radar if Travis had not spoken up and made the whole situation so much worse. He said, "An uninvited person was sneaking photos on what was supposed to be a closed set while I was directing a video. Okay, this might have been plausible, but then he said, I don't know this person, I've never been with this person. So please stop with the continuous cyber games and the fictional storytelling." But he probably wished that he never responded at all, because when he pretended not to know Regine, that was clearly the last straw for her. her. She then exposed him big time and posted a series of videos all to her Instagram story coming clean about their affair. She said, "What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna lie. I pretended I didn't know you, went along with whatever effing narrative no matter how much BS I got from it. But to say you don't know me and you've never been with me when you've definitely been with me, when everybody's seen you with me, when I have pictures and videos of you with me, come on." She essentially said that she and Travis had been in a long-term relationship for years and that she's been pressured to keep quiet about it all this time. In fact, Regine claimed that she spent Valentine's Day with Travis just days after the birth of he and Kylie's second child together. She said, "You cheat on that B word every single effing night. The whole effing city sees it. Don't do this." Then if you thought the drama was done, Travis for whatever reason could not seem to stop himself from responding and then immediately deleted his comments. So clearly the model was sick to death of sneaking around all this time and constantly denying the affair. She said, "All this stuff is stupid. The internet doesn't matter and I hope you guys just remember that none of it is the real world. The only person the internet is the real world for is Miss Jenna, because that's how she effing eats." And what did Travis say to this? Well, he just called her delusional. But clearly his past keeps coming back to haunt him if he and Kylie have broken up once again.
Let's jump right in with Rosalia and Rau Alejandro's decision to call off their wedding. 2023 is only at its halfway point and it's already home to multiple high-profile breakups, with Rau and Rosalia's story just adding to an already long list. The Spanish singers, who've recently crossed over into the mainstream pop scene but have dominated Latin charts for years now, first met in August of 2021, going public with their relationship the following month on social media. In March of 2022, that Alejandro had asked her to marry him after only 8 months of dating, in the music video for their song Beso, which was featured in their joint EP titled RR. That March was also when Rosalia revealed that she'd gotten RR tattooed on her foot, initials that both her and Alejandro share. The next month, Alejandro revealed that he had Rosalia inked above his navel. Later that month, the couple opened up about their bond in a Billboard interview, revealing that they've learned so much from each other to apply what their relationship has taught them to their work. Alejandro saying, "Rosie has a more solid music base than I do, and in the sense that I'm more extroverted in my music, but she's far more disciplined. But she's a freak crazy workaholic. Piano lessons, dance lessons, voice lessons. What else can you learn when no one sings like you? At the beginning I didn't really get it, but after some time I said, okay, let me try and follow her lead and see, and the difference is huge." Rosalia added that her then fiance was apparently far more relaxed than she was, which helped her keep her balance, adding, quote, "Of course my career is super important in my life, but at the same time, in my life, Alejandro is my companion and everything else comes second." It seemed that their relationship was a stabilizing force for both of them, so it's surprising that yesterday, People magazine confirmed that the duo announced that they're going their separate ways after dating for more than 3 years. Even if they aren't sharing vows, they sure are still connected for life with those aforementioned tattoos, so it's good that sources have said that despite their agreement to end their engagement, the singers still have love and respect for one another. Although fans and publications alike have pride, there is no further elaboration or explanation as to why the Spanish singers decided to call it quits. It's especially shocking since the breakup seemingly came out of nowhere. In fact, many Twitter and TikTok users assumed the news was fake when they first heard. But while a lot of the now ex-couple supporters are certainly upset about the news, a lot of them are stoked. Since both of these singers are extremely talented and incredibly attractive, the fact that they're both newly on the market has people unsurprisingly excited. However, it's not like we'd ever have a chance.
Alright, so it looks like Sofia Vergara and her husband Joe Manganiello have separated and are divorcing after 7 years of marriage. The couple released a statement to Page 6 and said, "We have made the difficult decision to divorce. As two people that love and care for one another very much, we politely ask for respect of our privacy at this time, as we navigate this new phase of our lives." An inside source said, "Sofia and Joe have been growing apart for a while now and are taking some distance from each other to contemplate their future. Some fans have noticed that the two of them have not been seen together as often as they used to. Right now, Sofia is in Italy with her best friend celebrating her 51st birthday, and she recently posted a few sexy photos on Instagram. But people in her comment section were quick to call out Joe's absence and wondered if they were going through something in their relationship. Joe did post a birthday tribute to his wife on Instagram, but the message didn't seem overly warm or personal. He simply wrote "Happy birthday Sofia" in Spanish, and fans were questioning his post since he didn't refer to her as his love or his wife, and compared to his previous ones, it just seemed a little obligatory. Another source that spoke to Page 6 claimed that he was supposed to be there with her in Italy, but he never ended up going. Quote, "At the start of Sofia's big birthday trip, those close to her were explaining away Joe's absence, with the excuse that he was busy filming back on the East Coast. That excuse barely held up due to the writer's strike, but once the actor's strike took effect, he could have been on the first flight, and he quite clearly is not. So now no one out there with her is even attempting to pretend that it's not over. It is over, it's done. While it's not unusual for a couple to grow apart over the years, these two were definitely a fan favorite. They married in a lavish Palm Beach ceremony in 2015 in front of 400 guests, including almost all of the cast of Modern Family. So Ariel Winter, Ed O'Neill, Eric Stonestreet, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Julie Bowen, Sarah Hyland, and Ty Burrell. As for Joe, his co-stars from True Blood were also there. People like Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer. Other celebrities were also in attendance, including Reese Witherspoon and Channing Tatum. So it was just such an amazing guest list. Sofia and Joe met for the first time through Jesse Tyler Ferguson at the White House Correspondents Association dinner back in 2014, and there was instant chemistry between the two of them. In fact, it was so strong that Sofia broke off her engagement to a businessman called Nick Loeb, who she was seeing at the time. Apparently, Joe asked for her number a few weeks later when she split up with Nick. He told People magazine in 2020 that he knew pretty quickly that he could trust her, and she knew pretty quickly that she could trust him. He said they're both the kind of people who are capable of putting the other person ahead of themselves. He was capable of putting her wishes ahead of his own, whatever they were, and she was capable of doing the same. In his opinion, once you have that, you don't let go of it. So it's really sad to see that they have decided to go their separate ways. But they're not the only celebrity couple that's now getting a divorce. Ariana Grande and her husband of 2 years, Dalton Gomez, have also decided to call it quits. Sources close to the star said that the two of them have been separated since January, but they've been able to stay friends, so there's no bad blood between them. Quote, they came to the decision together. They were having problems before January, but they wanted to remain best friends. Apparently, Dalton visited Ariana on the set of the movie Wicked in London, which was part of a last-ditch attempt to save their marriage, but sadly that didn't work out. It's been said that they've been really good friends throughout the entire process, and their friends and families have been trying to protect them. It's also been reported that Dalton is now dating other people, and has been for a few months, which is something that's completely fine with Ariana. Insiders have also spoken out about what led to the end of their relationship. Apparently, Dalton was taken aback by Ariana's celebrity status when the pandemic restrictions were lifted, so he would sometimes question why they needed to go around town with security, which is something that was a must for her. These major differences made the marriage unravel, and being long distance also added tension when she started filming Wicked in England. And as we all know, being long distance is tough on a relationship, especially one as new as that. Thankfully, they seem to have been able to remain friends, at least as far as we know. Okay, so let's talk about the most shocking news to come out of the weekend. The fact that Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn have allegedly broken up after 6 years together. Entertainment Tonight reported on Saturday that the two of them quietly split up a few weeks ago. So let's see if we can answer the question that everyone's asking. Who broke up with who? Well, according to an inside source close to Taylor, the split was amicable and it was not very dramatic. They said the relationship had just run its course. It's why Joe hasn't been spotted at any shows. While this does make sense, fans have done a little bit of digging and they've now come up with a few theories about what really happened. They think one of the songs they wrote together may have been about their own relationship and could hint at the reason for their split. Hours after the news broke, a video surfaced online of Taylor crying while performing the song Champagne Problems. She wore a red gown and played piano while she was singing the lyrics, "She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's effed in the head," they said, "but you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred." The song is about a man proposing to a woman and getting turned down. It tells the story of a couple who deal with a failed proposal. It tells a story of a couple who've dealt with this failed proposal even though their family members have already popped the champagne in celebration. At the time, Taylor and Joe were dealing with engagement rumors, so some people feel that Champagne Problems tells a story about the demise of their own relationship. Fans speculated that they ended things because he really wanted to get married and she didn't. There's also the idea that her song Midnight Rain is about him too. The lyrics describe Taylor leaving behind the comfort of a healthy relationship to avoid settling for something less. She sings, "He wanted a bride, I was making my own name, chasing that fame, he stayed the same, all of me changed like midnight." She goes on to sing about an ex-boyfriend who was a little too perfect, so much so that she decided to end the relationship to focus on her own career instead. Of course, because of the timing, she was most likely talking about someone like Tom Hiddleston, who she dated for 3 months earlier on in her career. But some people think it also applied to her relationship with Joe. Even though there are a million different fan theories circulating around the internet, it's important to note that neither of them have actually come out and confirmed their breakup, although it's no wonder that people are genuinely shocked. Just a few weeks ago, it was reported that Joe was traveling with Taylor on her Eras tour, and he planned to be at a few of her concerts. Not only that, but the two of them have worked very hard to keep most of their relationship private. Over the years, they've had to deal with countless rumors that they secretly got engaged and married on the down low. This speculation reached new heights when Taylor was seen with a large ring on her finger in the documentary Miss Americana. With the release of Lover in 2019, this theory was absolutely everywhere. Joe eventually spoke out about this in an interview with WSJ magazine. He said, "If I had a pound for every time I think I've been told I've been engaged, then I'd have a pound of coins. I mean, the truth is, if the answer was yes, I wouldn't say. If the answer was no, I still wouldn't say." For her part, Taylor addressed the speculation in her song Lavender Haze. The track is filled with feminist symbolism and explores her feelings about being not only a woman in a heteronormative relationship, but also being famous on top of that. She sings about the never-ending speculation that she and Joe are engaged, secretly married, or planning to have children. The lyrics say, "They keep asking me if I'm going to be your bride. The only kind of girl they see is a one-night or a wife." When speaking about the inspiration behind that song, she said, "When you're in the lavender haze, you'll do anything to stay there and not let people bring you off that cloud. I think that a lot of people have to deal with this now, not just like public figures, because we live in the era of social media, and if the world finds out you're in love with somebody, they're going to weigh in on it." She explained that she and Joe have had to dodge weird rumors, tabloid stuff, and they just ignore it. So Lavender Haze is about the act of ignoring that stuff to protect the real thing. Apart from keeping their relationship private, they also seem to be very good at supporting each other's careers. They even started collaborating on music together over the pandemic. And apparently Joe wrote several songs under the pseudonym William Bowery. So many of these were featured in Folklore and Evermore, and those albums were hugely successful. Folklore ended up taking home the 2021 Grammy for Album of the Year, and Evermore was nominated for the same award at the 2022 ceremony. During her acceptance speech, Taylor gave him a shout out. She said, "Joe is the first person that I play every single song that I write, and I had the best time writing songs with you in quarantine." The actor is credited as a co-writer on the songs Betty, Exile, Champagne Problems, Coney Island, and Evermore. So they obviously had a great relationship if they could create music like that together. Even though most fans were upset at the idea of them splitting up, others are a little more optimistic about the whole thing. Because if it's really true, that means we'll be getting some pretty amazing breakup songs in the next couple of months. Alright, now let's talk about Billie Eilish breaking up with Jesse Rutherford. Billie's rep spoke to Page 6 and said, "We can confirm that Billie and Jesse did split amicably and remain good friends. All cheating rumors are false. Both are currently single." To some, this does come as a surprise, seeing that they haven't been seen together since Coachella in April. Billie then attended the Met Gala in May without Jesse by her side. Later that night, she was seen getting cozy with actress Ava Capri, who is queer, though her boyfriend was nowhere in sight. So far, news of their breakup has been going across Twitter, and it's very easy to tell how fans feel about it. People wrote things like, "Thank God for that, she deserves so much better," and "Keep that old man away from her." When Jesse and Billie became an item in mid-October, everyone was kind of shocked. They were spotted holding hands at Halloween Horror Nights. Days later, they were photographed publicly making out outside of a popular restaurant in LA. Concerns were raised almost immediately around their 11-year age gap. This feeling got worse when photos were leaked of their couple's Halloween costume. Billie dressed up as a baby and Jesse went as an old man. So it's easy to see why a lot of people felt grossed out by that, because it plays right into the creepy stuff. A few months later, things got even worse when it was reported that Billie and Jesse have known each other since 2017, when she was 15 and he was 26. The fact that she was a big fan of his didn't sit right with a lot of people either, considering how easily she could have been influenced by someone that she considered to be her favorite artist. This new information really called into question the idea of what's appropriate and what's not in an age gap relationship. In November, she did her annual interview with Vanity Fair, which clearly hasn't aged well. She had been dating Jesse for 1 or 2 months by that point, and she could not stop gushing about him. She said, "Yeah, I do have a boyfriend now, and it's really cool, and I'm really excited, and I'm really happy about it." She also said that her love language is physical touch, and she values her freedom in a relationship because she doesn't want to be controlled. When talking about Jesse, she said, "I managed to get myself to a point in my life where I not only was known by a person that I thought was the hottest guy alive, but I pulled him," as though dating Jesse was such a big achievement. She then said, "Can we just get a round of applause for me?" So at this point, she had already heard a lot of the judgment judgment surrounding their relationship, which she also addressed in that interview. Billie said, "Say what you need to say, but I am in control right now. I did this." Even though she seemed to be very pleased with their romance, the comments under that video were vicious. People called her delusional and manic. Now, a lot of them are revisiting that interview since the breakup, and they're basically rubbing it in. Someone wrote, "I knew that this would age like milk. I cannot believe she did not anticipate this being embarrassing one day." Another person said, "This is one of those things you say on half-priced margarita night with your girls, not in front of millions of people." Some of them even roasted Jesse's looks and joked about the fact that Billie had no competition because no one else was lining up to date him. So far, the reaction to their breakup is pretty much one big "I told you so." Although looking back on their relationship, it wasn't all bad. They did have their fair share of iconic fashion moments, like when they made their debut as a couple in Gucci pajamas. They were wrapped in a giant blanket and accessorized the look with an eye mask and slippers. Billie wore a crop top and a long skirt with a lace trim slit and a long robe that was all monogrammed in Gucci's signature house print. As for Jesse, he wore a silky loungewear set including a button-up shirt and trousers, and he finished off with a pair of Gucci house slippers. The PJs were definitely a surprise given the formality of the gala. Then a few days after her birthday, Jesse attended a Christmas themed party where they wore matching outfits. Billie wore a Mrs. Claus inspired red velvet dress, and he wore a red sweater over a whole button down with green slacks. Then in March they were seen at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party together. Again, they looked super stylish and coordinated. She wore a sweeping black gown while he wore a black suit with a flower pinned to his lapel, and he wore a kind of clown makeup with a painted red nose and blue tear streaks. So even though these two have parted ways, at least we can look back on their red carpet moments and say that they had some pretty good style. So what did you think about their breakup, and did you see it coming?